Hello, Terry. Welcome to what would you say, a hurried or harried Thursday because Belmont scratches come out about 15 minutes before we got started.
Yep. And
And
there
of
were a lot of
course,
them.
we have to account for them.
Yeah. And there were a lot of scratches too.
Yeah. And once again, I'm hearing an echo.
Oh boy.
So what I'm going to do, Terry, I'm going to pull up I don't know what can I pull up to start the show here because if I pull anything up to start the show, the only thing see if I put my screen up in there. So why don't you talk a little bit about I don't know, let's talk about anything while I kick myself out and come back. I'll be back in
Oh.
2 seconds.
All right. Sounds good. Anyway, well, I guess Rich had to go out. He's got some echoes in there somewhere, and he's been having problems with that. I don't hear the echoes, but other people have said they do. It looks like it's going to be a good weekend, although I hear it's going to really rain in Belmont tomorrow and really rain hard on Saturday. So that may change everybody's handicapping.
All right. Well, Tom says he didn't hear an echo. I heard one in there. I don't hear it now. So, all right. So the pluses last night, Terry, we had on Wayne Catalano, who joined the show from looks like an airport. We wasn't sure if he was in North or South Carolina. One thing that he did mention is that he has 7 horses this weekend, I think starting today. And he says all of them are live. So if you see Wayne Catalano as the trainer, you might want to make sure that you check one of those horses off and maybe include him. He said if you bet on all of his horses, he's pretty convinced that you'll have a positive ROI. And then we also had on, as you can see down in the corner here, our Lone Star report with Erica Starr. She's got some good insights about some upcoming races and maidens at Lone Star. So if you're going to plan on doing anything at Lone Star this weekend, you want to make sure you check out Erica's update.
Yeah, I thought that show was really good, and I really appreciate the guest. With everything that was going on with him, and he still got in there and was able to join the show. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was it. We really sincerely appreciate Wayne Catalano doing that because we were really unsure what was going to happen, and I think that probably is the motto for today at Belmont Park, where with the weather, you're not really sure what's going to happen. There are some scratches now, and it looks to me like a couple of the races are still going to be run on turf. I think 2 of them are canceled. The 2 baby races, I think, are canceled on turf.
Oh, yeah, I think so. I think you're right about that.
And then all of the other ones, the first race is on turf. It is the race number 1. It is a 7-furlong turf. It's going to be a yielding course. This is going to be a 7-furlong optional claiming race. And at 7 furlongs so far on the turf, they've run 12 of them. 9 were won by off the pace. 2 went wire to wire. The best post position has been 4 through 7. There is a penalty on 2 through 3, and there has not been a winner off the rail yet.
That's right. And in that first race, I like the 1A Artemis City Limits. He has finished in the money in 16 out of 17 career starts, so he really likes to be there in the mix. He ran second his last race. He switches to a high percentage winning jockey, and the trainer wins 22% of the time when bringing back a beaten favorite to race again. The jockey in the last 7 days have won 8 out of 23 races. He ran second twice. Then I like number 8, Falsey. He finished in the money in 9 out of 10 turf starts and finished in third in the last race, although I think this is coming off the turf. Number 7, Yes and Yes. He won his last race at Belmont Park, has the highest speed figure at today's distance. And again, I think it's coming off the turf, even though he has the best speed on the turf. And then number 10, Summer to Remember. He finished third in his last race and has a bullet workout.
Yeah, I think with all the scratches and stuff, this race is pretty... I don't know how many horses are still left in there, but I do like Artemis City Limits as well. It was going to be my top pick on grass or dirt in the event that they did not have the scratches by the time we got started. 10 high-quality starts in the last 10 races, so you know you're going to get a good effort, but you're also going to get 3 to 5, probably, maybe even 2 to 5.
Yeah.
Yes and Yes. This one likes the Belmont track. Ran there 11 times with 3 wins, 3 seconds, and 3 thirds. So one of those 3s is going to change or to run out of the money. Did win his last race. The resume says he'll probably be better in the second start after a layoff. Number 8, Fauci, did finish behind the top pick last time out. should make nice gains in round number 2 off the bench. And like you, Summer to Remember did show some early speed last time out, has a bullet workout since that race, and trainer Horacio De Paz has been off to a good start so far, winning at 30%. Terry, you're going to go right to your box it up in race number 2, which is a 1 mile race, 32 of them so far, 26 won by speed, 10 went wire to wire. There is a rail bias and 2 and out. Play fair. Let's pull up your box it up right now, Terry. Tell us why you like these 4 horses for an exacta, trifecta, and superfecta box.
Well, again, I try to pick races that are a little bit wide open so we can get some prices. And I like number 8, Veronica Green, as my first choice. She ran second versus similar in her only start, was heavily bet in that debut, and has a high percentage winning trainer. And then number 2, Aunt Naughty. She ran second versus similar in her last race. She has a jockey in the last 7 days who's won 3 out of 12 races, a second and a third, and she has a good 4 furlong workout. And then number 5, Spike. She closed to run second in her only start at 6 furlongs and stretches out to a mile, which I think may help. And then number 4, Dos Sarah. She ran second versus similar in her last race, receiving the highest last race speed rating, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters.
All right, Terry. So get that frog out, my friend. The remnants of not feeling well, never any fun, right? So for me in race number 3, race number 2, which is a never mind. It was 1 mile. It is a maiden special weight, $90,000 for fillies and mares that are 3 years old and up. Looking at my selections in race number 2, I like the 5 horse. Spiked ran second in the debut and the highest rated race of the bunch. The horse she lost to ran in a stakes race after beating Spiked. Didn't do so well in the stakes race. Then came back here at Belmont and ran an optional claiming for $80,000 and won that race. The 3rd horse in the race didn't come back to run yet, but the 4th place horse came back to break its maiden the next time out. So I think you can mark that race as what they call a key race. Spike is my long shot. It's going to make it a 3 for 3, the horses to come back to win afterwards. Number 2, Aunt Naughty. This one ran better pace numbers last time out from start to finish. 4 very good work since last time out. Maybe graduation day for Aunt Naughty. Dulce Serra did run the top last race speed figure in the first race on Belmont Dirt. Held the lead until the final strides and cutting back a 16th of a mile. Should make a difference here today. And finally, it was a tough call for me over the 3 and the 8, but I took Milan's Girl over the 8 horse. I'm going to take the $300,000 horse over the $260,000 horse because Milan's Girl put together a more consistent effort from start to finish last time out than did Veronica Green. So one of the things I'm talking about in there, and I can pull it up on here just to kind of give you an idea what I'm talking about. So when you look at these horses that make their debut runs, let me, if I can make this a little bit bigger, hopefully everybody can see it. When you look at these pace figures, you see how they're pretty consistent, 85, 86, 80.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's usually a pretty good sign for the next race out. And if you look at Veronica Green, you'll see there's a huge difference in that final number, 83, 89, and then boom, really dropped.
Yeah.
So that concerns me a little bit there. And a lot of times when you see that, like that big fall off on that first race, the next time out, they struggle a little bit. It's not always perfect, but I prefer the horse that has a consistent number across the board because it shows that horse was able to carry its form through the race. And if it can improve in round number 2, then it should be able to, again, carry its form from beginning to end. And if it does so on improvement, could be a good thing. All right, race number 3, Terry, is 1 1/8 miles on the inner turf. This one has not been canceled, and you went way out on a limb here, taking the 3 horse here. Consumer Spending as your best bet.
Yeah, well, she's won 3 out of 5 career races, and she went in the last race. Her best turf speed is fastest among today's starters, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then I like number 7, Skims. She won 2 out of the last 3 races, finishing third in her last race, and has a high percentage winning jockey. And then number 6, Verga, well, whatever.
Starts with V, ends with whatever.
Vigara. She likes the turf, finishing 100% of the time in the money, and she's won 50% of those races and is 1-for-1 at today's distance. And then my risky affair, number 2, she won her last race at Belmont, has a highest last speed rating, and a trainer jockey combination who's finishing the money 6 out of 14 starts, winning 4 of those.
Yeah, you might not get good odds. You're not going to get good odds on the domestic spending horse there, but you might get some better odds today, Terry, on your best bet of the day over at Gulfstream Park. Let me pull that up on the screen as I jump through about 42 different tabs. What do you like at Gulfstream Park, and how did your pick do yesterday?
Well, yesterday my pick actually did not get in the money, but my second pick ran third and paid $680 to show. Today, I like Gulfstream Park, the third race. I like Con on the Run. Comes in from Santa Anita after winning 3 races in a row, has a highest last race speed rating, and has a good workout at Gulfstream Park, which is important to me. And then number 5, Smiling Truffles. He has finished in the money in his last 7 races, winning 2 of the starts and finishing third in his last race. And then number 1, Caymanerio. He won his last race at Gulfstream Park. The rail post is winning at a 19% clip, and trainer jockey combination the last 14 days have been in the money 5 out of 6 starts and won 3 of those.
So going back to the last race, Charles says that he likes the 8 horse because he ran too fast. So, and that explains the back end of the the thing falling off, the pace figures falling off. But if you go and you look back at that race again, so we'll pull it back up one more time, and then these are some rough estimates, of course, because you never know. But Milan's Girl was at the first call 7 3/4 lengths behind, so that's about a second and a half. That would put that at 21-9, right, Charles? About for every length is about every 5 lengths is about a second. So that would put it at about 21-9, say 22. The 8 horse ran its opening quarter and 22-1 was about 8 lengths behind. So that is
23-4.
Yeah. And then on the second call, 46-2 at about another second, 47-2. And then the 4 horse, the 3 horse at the, was it 44-3? Was about a little more than a second and a half. So he actually ran faster. If you look, if that's how you calculate the actual times that the horses ran. So in that respect, it's even more impressive that the 3 horse was able to hold. All right. So race number 3, you gave us your best bets, Terry, at both parks. Let's go back to my picks for race number 3 and pull up on the full screen here. Race number 3. I like the consumer spending as well. Probably one of the easier winners on the card. A little bit of luck. I think he finished 6th by only like 1.5 lengths in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf. Came back to win the last race with the top last race speed figure. Probably makes easy work of this field. Vigara, Louis says, this to me, the next 2 horses, Vigara and Skims, they both are going to take the same approach. I think there's really not a lot of pace in this field, so I expect the 6 and the 7 to get to the front. I'm going to take the 6 over the 7 to try to steal this race on the lead because he has a little bit better early pace numbers than Skims. And then finally, number 2, my risky affair. I agree with you, Terry. I'm going to take the price here too. The numbers were as good as the 1 horse, and I think if the race were to get moved off the turf and onto the dirt eventually, could be the top pick on the slop because it ran really good last time out on the slop. Race number 4, Terry, is my box it up. And race number 4 is a 6.5 furlong maiden special weight, 75,000. And much like you're thinking, Terry, it's one of the few races where there's a full field and not a whole bunch of people got scratched. So there's going to be a whole bunch of odds available in this race. at 6.5 furlongs so far. They've run 18 races, 10 of which were 12, were won by speed. 5 of the 18 went wire to wire. Kind of got to stay away from the rail a little bit. Just 1 win so far. 2 through 7 play fair, and 8 hasn't gotten a win. 8 now and haven't gotten a win yet. So of course, I start where there's just 1 win on the rail and no wins at 10 plus. But what the hell? If you don't take risks, you don't get rewarded. And my box it up is the 10 horse, Asymmetric. And this horse is again my top pick. It's been off since October. The works are okay. It's getting it first time Lasix and gelded. Last time he did run with the top last rate speed figure, so he's going to run angry today thanks to the scissors. The Sinful Dancer, better in race numbers last time out from start to finish. Some really good workouts in between races. The 3 horse, Devil Boy, has some of the best early pace numbers in the field. Did have some issues last time out, but popped a bullet workout since. And then finally Catching Cupid showed some speed in his debut, was the favorite in a $100,000 non-graded stakes race in the second start, but been on the sideline since. Upgrades to one of tonight's guests, Joel Rosario, has a bullet workout and gets Lasix. So you get a better jockey, horse that's shown speed, gets a little bit of Lasix. And as I mentioned, Terry, one of our guests this evening, of 2 guests on the Players Edge podcast, so I'm not quite sure how we're going to work all this one out, is jockey Joel Rosario. And before Joel comes on, we will have analyst Keisha Courtney Clement. That's going to start tonight 1 hour early at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you hit the subscribe button while you're here on YouTube. And then also, if you haven't done so already, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Horse Race Today. Sean will let you know when we're about to go live with Acacia and Joel. If you have any questions for either, feel free to comment in the comments section, or you can hit us up on Twitter, or you can send me an email, gtsrichb@gmail.com.
All right.
All right.
And for me in the 4th race, I like the number 10, Asymmetric. He finished 3rd versus Similar in the last race, has the highest last speed rating, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and he has Lasix added. And then I like number 1, Sinful Dancer. He has finished in the money in 6 out of 7 races, running 2nd versus Similar in his last race, has a bullet workout on June 2nd at 48-1 breezing. And then I like number 6, Conquest. He finished 3rd versus Similar in his only start while being well bet and can improve with Lasix being added. And then number 5, Catching Cupid. He has been off for 6 months after a poor race, but has a bullet workout, which shows maybe he's got all the problems taken care of. Switches to a high percentage jockey. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters. And the jockey in the last 7 days has finished in the money 12 out of 20 starts, winning 5 of those.
And our Charles E.F. Hutton says the track is sloppy right now, and not sure what it's going to be at post time. They didn't seal it, so it should drive fast. With the wind, expect best speed early to fade and stalkers to win, especially those from posts 3 through 7. Race number 5, Terry, if we get on track here now, is another. This one was supposed to be a 5 furlong on the turf. I think they moved this one to the dirt. Is one of the I think is one of the ones that they did. These are all the 2-year-olds. Yeah. So this race is going to be on the dirt instead of the turf. So, I mean, 2-year-olds, anything could happen, Terry. What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah. Now that they've moved it there, I like number 2, Talkin' Farrell. He ran 2nd versus Similar on the dirt. So he's ran in there in his only start. And he was well bet in the debut, and the trainer jockey combination the last 14 days has won 2 out of 4 starts. And then number 5, More Than Ready Eddie. He's a first-time starter. He just has a good workout on June 4th. Then number 6, Lady Wildcat. He's also a first-time starter. Wesley Ward trains this horse, and his mounts are winning at a 25% clip. And then
Are
number
you sure
3,
that one's in? Because I think Wesley scratched all of his horses.
Oh, did he? Did he scratch the 6?
Let me look and just see. But
Okay.
Maybe I don't keep going. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Okay, that's all right. Number 3, Dr. Osran. He is a first-time starter at 2, and he has a good trainer jockey combination who has won 4 out of 14 starts. So
Belmont Park, race number 5. Where did you go, Belmont? Hey, this stupid computer today. You ever have days where like you click in one spot and it goes to another, and
Yeah.
just been one of those days. No, the 6 horse for Wesley Ward, Lady Wildcat, is not in.
All right, they scratched that one.
Yeah, so you're going to put 5, and then what else are you going to put there?
Okay, then I'd like to put in number 7. I like Boston.
You like Boston. Okay, so Terry's going to go 10, 1, 5, and no, that's the wrong race. Hold on a second. Down here, this is the one. So 10, is it going to go 2? Okay, 2, 5, 3, 7. Is that right?
That's right.
And this is race number 5?
Yes.
Yeah, the 3 horse is not in either, though.
Holy moly, they've been some more scratches since I looked at.
You got the 7,
So,
and then
the 4. The 4 who
The 4 is out too. So the horses that are in this race are the 1, the 5, the 7, the 8, and the 9.
The 1.
Your 2 horses not running either. Is this race 5, right?
Yeah, that's race 5.
Take Farrell.
Farrell.
Yeah, he's not in either.
They actually took out a lot of horses since I
you have the 5, race. And then the 7, and then after the 5 and the 7, you have the 1, 8, and 9.
1. Okay, then I want the 8, and then give me the 9.
All right. So for me in race number 5, I started with More Than Ready. Eddie does have a pretty strong workout pattern. I was going to take the number 9 no matter what, Power Attack. I mentioned he's got to be a bomb. He was a bomb early in the morning. He's not going to be a bomb now. Does have some of the fastest 3 furlong workouts at this track. And then Kendrick does like to run on the front, so you never know. I like number 1, Kara's Prince, better than the 7 or 8 because it has better workouts than the 7 and 8. And that one's going to be a long shot, I think, in the field. But, that wet rail could be a problem. And then number 8, Al Kazaba, better workouts than the 7 getting ready. And I just think anything could happen in this race. And it might be one if you're doing if you're doing some sort of vertical that, either single to 5, I think, or probably take them all the other ones. All right, Terry. So race number 5 ends our hot dog pick 4. Probably going to screw your hot dog pick 4 up pretty good, though, I'd imagine.
It is. So,
all right. So Terry has 4 horses anywhere. So I would just take Terry's 4 horses at the end, right?
That's right.
So you're going to single the 3, as am I, Terry.
Oh, we both did that.
Yeah, well, because it just looks like it should be an easy winner. I was thinking about trying to beat him, but some of these other races with the 2-year-olds and all that other stuff, and then the maiden special weights on top of that, they're pretty wide open. So you got to hope you catch a price. So Terry's hot dog pick 4 ends in race 5 with the 5, the 7, the 8, and the 9.
Yep. And those, a lot of times those races are pretty pretty good when they do that, because a lot of times it's hard for people to decide who's going to win in a big long shot, or a price horse will come in.
Well, the 5, I think, is going to be the decided favorite there.
Probably.
I don't think there's any doubt about that.
You're probably right about that, but I think there's going to be a chance for something to nip him. So,
well, you certainly hope you can beat him. Race number 6 is 5.5 furlongs, Terry. It is the Astoria Stakes. It's on the main track. Again, scratches are probably a problem. They've only won 1 race so far. It was a wire-to-wire to win from posts 2 and 3. So take us through your thoughts on race number 6, Terry.
Yeah, I like number 6, Devious Dam. Devious Dam. She won her debut race at Churchill Downs, has the highest last speed rating. She's actually tied with another horse. Her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. And the jockey in the last 7 days has been in the money. Let's see, 12 out of 20 times, won 5 of those. The number 1, Alexis Storm, she won her debut race at Laurel Park and was heavily bet doing that. And then number 5, Girl By, is my 3rd pick. She won her debut race at Gulfstream Park. She earned the highest last speed rating, and her best start speed is fastest among today's starters. She's actually tied with the number 6 horse. And then number 2, Magic Beauty. She has 2/3, and one of those was at Belmont Park, so she can handle that track.
Yeah, I look at the 5 and the 6. They both ran almost identical numbers, so you might as well take the 9-2, Girl By, over the 6, Devious Dame. They both were heavy favorites. They both won fairly easily. So, Devious Dame was a heavy favorite. But if they both run similar numbers, I'm going to take the better odds. Hopefully I get the 5 horse gets the jump on the 6 and is able to take it out. Alexis Storm is the third pick here. Won her debut, as you mentioned, at Laurel Park. It was a 7-5 favorite, but obviously didn't face the same company as Girl By and Devious Dame did in their debuts. And then Magic Beauty, as you mentioned, did have a run in its debut at Belmont, which put her ahead of the 4 horse in my book. Race 7, Terry, as we move forward in this convoluted day, is 1 1/8 miles on the inner turf. I do believe that this is one of the races that remains on the turf as of right now. At 1 1/8 miles on the turf, on the inner turf, they've run 3 races, 2 of which were won wire to wire. The other came from off the pace. One winner came from posts 2 and 3. The other post from 4 through 7. All right, Terry, how do you see this one playing out? We have the same 4 horses, but with all the scratches, there's really not a whole lot of other choices.
That's true. I like number 1, investment strategy is something you know a lot about. She has finished in the money in 2 of her 3 career races, winning one of the races, has a trainer jockey combination who's been in the money 5 out of 6 starts, winning 2 of those. Then I like number 5, El Lara. She finished 3rd versus similar in her last race and has the highest last speed rating. The trainer jockey combination has won 4 out of 14 races in the last 14 days. And I like number 4, Baby Blythe. She finished 3rd versus similar in her last race. And then number 9, Community Adjusted. She drops in class today and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey.
Charles says, you made it when the porno people start showing up in the chat.
Yeah.
I guess I can look at it a different way.
Yeah.
Says you could probably single the 5 in race number 5, but in race 6, you don't want the 5 horse because the jockey is a human anchor.
Oh, yeah. And thanks to Talia for giving me some congrats there. So
I don't know if you saw that race, but it looked to me like the 4 horse started to bolt up the track and then came back on. So it was pretty interesting that he's really pounds the best in that race then.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for me, and we're doing race number, 7 now, right?
Yes.
So I guess the human anchor on El Yara, I expect it to be better in the second start off the bench. It does have a bunch of maintenance works afterwards. Investment strategy did finish behind the human anchor last time out, but does have 24 furlongs of workout since May 1st. Number 9, Community Adjusted. Are we on race number 5 or 6, Terry?
We're on race number 7.
7, all right. Community Adjusted improved early pace numbers in the last race, is dropping in class, has 2 workouts between. And I think this one will be better in the second start off a layoff. And then finally, number 4, Baby Blythe. Does have some late pop, should be better off in the second round off a layoff. And there's a pretty expensive horse at $325,000. Race number 8, Terry, I don't know. It's just been a very difficult day. Is another 5.5 furlongs. This is a Tremont Stakes for $150,000 for these babies, the 2-year-olds. Again, I'm going to go with the 7 horse here, Terry, as my best bet of the day. And that is 2 of a Kind. Won the debut at Churchill Downs. And it's interesting to me that Luis Saez chooses the 7 horse over the 5 horse. That's why I took the 7.
Oh, all right. Well, I like the in this race. I like the 5 over the 7.
Looks like you liked the 5 a couple of times.
Yeah, actually, it should be 5, 7, 4, 8. But
there we go.
Anyway, Valentine's Day, he won his debut race at Belmont, and the jockey in the last 7 days has done really well. Has been in the money 11 out of 12 out of 20 times, winning 5 of those. And then your best bet, 2 of a Kind. He won his debut race, as you said, at Churchill Downs. The trainer wins 28% of the races when he enters a horse in a non-graded stakes, and this horse has a really good workout on June 3rd. And then number 4, No Nay Hudson. He won his debut race at Kingland, has a high percentage winning trainer who in the last 7 days has won 3 out of 9 starts, and a good workout on June 5th. And then I like number 8, Zelensky Strong. He was well bet and won his debut race at Gulfstream Park, has a jockey who in the last 7 days has won 8 out of 23 starts.
Don't you wonder how they know to name these horses in advance, like Zelensky Strong? How did they know that Zelensky was going to be a player? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how.
And maybe they named it more recently. But anyway, I mentioned why I like Two of a Kind because Luis Saez took him over the 5-horse Valenzende. This one did have the best early pace numbers. That race was at Belmont. Won off a nice stalking trip as well. So a couple of good workouts in between. Number 4, I got a feeling maybe Luis might regret that, and I might regret taking him over, but my best bet probably still finishing the money. Number 4, No Way Hudson, won the debut with the top last race Speed Finger and has a very strong workout on June the 5th. Finally, Zelensky Strong won the debut by 10 lengths at Gulfstream Park and does have a pretty good workout at Belmont Park since and gets the top jock, Irad Ortiz. And then finally, this next race is the last race of the day. Race number 9, well, last race at Belmont anyway. It is 6 furlongs on the inner turf, maiden claiming optional $40,000. And I think for now, this one's still on the turf as well. It is also your long shot.
It is. I like, my long shot yesterday ran second, so that wasn't too bad. Anyway, I like number 3, Miscreant. I think that's how you pronounce it. She was well bet and ran second in her debut race at Belmont. Has a jockey in the last 7 days who's won 3 out of 12 races. Then I like number 7, Dame Time. She has the highest last race speed rating. Her best turf speed is fastest among today's starters. She drops in class, and she should improve at the shorter distance. Then number 9, You Can't Handle This. She led her last race for 6 furlongs and then faded. Now she's going 6.5 furlong. I'm sorry. Now she's going for, she cuts back to 6 furlongs. She faded at the 6.5 furlongs with 1 furlong to go or so. And now that she cuts back, it should help. Then number 12, Dozy Bats. She drops in class, is trained by Wesley Ward and ridden by John Velasquez.
All right. So for me in this last race here, I'm going to go with, for some reason, I thought the 12 had scratch, but all right. Anyway, I'm going to go with number 7 as my top choice. Because I see I do want to add the 12 in here instead of the 6 at the end, Terry.
Okay, because
I thought the 12 had scratched. So actually, I wanted to put but we'll stick with like this. The 7-horse Dame Time. I'm gonna go 7, 12, 9, and 10. And the reason why I went with the 7 and the 9 and the 12 first is because they're the only 2 in the field that are maiden special weight droppers.
Yeah, they are.
So that's why I'm putting them both in there. But the 7-horse almost won at the maiden special weight level. I think you can almost single that horse in there. But number 9, You Can't Handle This, had to lead in the stretch before fading in the last race. Trainer Rudy Rodriguez wins 20%, second off the claim. And then finally, Queen de la Creme is the first-time starter for a hot barn. Trainer Raymond Handel won 3 of the last 5. He's won 4 and has 5 seconds and 16 starts so far. And then I'm going to, on the back end, well, our prime rib pick 4s are going to be a little mixed up too, Terry. So let me go ahead. I'm pressing all the wrong buttons again here. Let me go ahead and pull up the prime rib pick 4 so that we can take a look at those and then clean those up, Terry, as we.
Okay. So
the prime rib pick 4, I think you have 6-1, 1-5, 4-9. So race number 7, there's number 8. So everything looks good for you still, right?
Yep.
And then for me, I'm going to put the 12 and shift everybody down 1. So I'm going to go 7, 12, 9, 10, and 6. Otherwise, everything else is the same.
Okay. And you're going to drop the 3, right?
Yeah, I'm going to drop the 3 out of there.
Okay, sounds good.
Your first pick is Adios Amigo.
That's right.
All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at our full picks again. Here they are. A little bit of confusion. I know that your hot dog pick 4 is a little bit mixed up too. So in Terry's hot dog pick 4, that last leg, instead of in race 5, the 2, 5, 6, and 3 is the 5, 7, 8, and 9. And my prime rib, as we mentioned, we're going to put the 12 in where the 9 is and shift everybody down 1 to the right. So it's going to be 7, 12, and 9, 10, and 6.
And then in mine, in the 8th race, that should be 3, Three. It should actually be 3, 4, 5, 7, 8.
3,
Shouldn't
4,
have-
5, 7, 8. So the
Yeah.
3 should be where the 5 is.
Yes.
All right. Whew, confusion. And then I think I do have our box sit-ups correct. Terry's is in race number 2. Mine is in race number 10 on what should be a pretty sloppy day at Belmont Park, where I think a lot of things can happen, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Watch out for the 8 in the last race. Offspring 19% winners in the sloppy, catches the right style. Yeah, it could do. But I agree with you there too.
And it's too bad we don't have it. So
yeah, in race number 8, we corrected that.
Yeah.
You can see that now it's in there. All right, and then let's see, Terry. Before we head up and out of here, I know a lot of folks do like the Delaware Park course. If you head on over today to Guaranteed Tip Sheet, it is today's free track. All you need to do is hit on the link in the description, or you'll find plenty of links over at horseracingtoday.net. You'll see that Delaware Park, free. The track is good. Click on it. 11 scratches, race number 1. The 2-horse 1-9er Tango is the top pick of the day. Again, at least for the race anyway. Again, tonight we will have on Acacia, Courtney Clement, and Joel Rosario. Mark your calendars. We'll be starting at 8:30 p.m. Eastern instead of the normal 9:30 p.m. I think I covered everything, Terry. Did I miss anything?
Well, the only thing you missed is maybe if you want to go get our shirts and our hats, that's something that we'd appreciate if you did. And if you like what you saw today, make sure that you follow us on all of our different venues at the Horse 2, the Ring number 2 day. Sorry.
That's all right, Terry.
And like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and then also subscribe to our YouTube channel here.
Yes, indeed. If you like what you saw, like Jimmy Little and Lionel TM Fook, please thumbs up on Facebook and on YouTube. Of course, we hope everybody has a fantastic Thursday. And if you do like the number 5 hat like I have on, or you like the 3 hat like Terry has on, all you need to do is click on HRT gear over at horseracingtoday.net. It'll take you over to our shop, and make sure you pick it up to support the show. Hopefully you'll see us soon out at a track. Maybe not New Year, but I know we're going to head out to Saratoga a little later on. We'll be sporting our gear there for sure. So you'll want to make sure you catch up with us there. All right, Terry, that's it for today. Until we catch up again this evening, whether you're betting in the slop, free track over at Delaware Park, or whatever it is you're doing on this day, hopefully it ends up in the
winner circle.
Absolutely. Have a fantastic Thursday. We'll see you tonight with Acacia and Joel Rosario.